Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back here on the vBrownbags. I was speaking before with the gentlemen and ladies over here, of course, about, I think I've been almost on every brown bag that has been ever at one of the tech talks, but still it's a lot of fun. I always enjoy doing these, and today we're going to be speaking about that O moment in OpenStack. So, my name is Maish. I am discoverable. You can find me on Twitter, MaishSK. I am a blogger, used to be very, very involved with VMware virtualization up until about a year and a half ago. I work as a platform architect for Cisco in Israel. And at the moment, my current focus is more on OpenStack architecture design and how to get, specifically with the media services, how to get our applications deployable, automated with full stack on OpenStack itself. Today I wanted to speak to you about the O moment in OpenStack. So everybody thinks today virtualization is easy because we've come approximately the past 5 or 10 years over about how we do virtualization. And of course it wasn't very easy because it took us a lot of time to understand what we are trying to do, how we do it, how we deploy a virtualization platform as something to be very, very stable, which we use every day. And I would say that most people already think that's the default, and whoever doesn't use virtualization today is really behind the times. But it wasn't always that easy. But today it is. So what we're talking about is actually when you start to deploy applications on top of that virtualization infrastructure. It becomes a little bit more complicated. How we automate all these things. How do I automate not only deploying the virtual machines, but automate creation of networks, security, firewall rules. A lot of people using configuration management systems, for example, Ansible, Puppet, Chef, and so on and so forth. But it is still something which has to be pulled together from a number of different locations, a number of different products, and to do everything to get one easy-to-use system. So when we're talking about why did I think get to the light bulb moment when you start using OpenStack was when I first saw a Heat script. Because for those of you who are not aware what Heat does, Heat is an orchestration software component within OpenStack which allows you to automate anything in the infrastructure, and anything means anything which can be accessed through an API in OpenStack can be automated through Heat. And that light bulb moment for me went on somewhere when I first saw a Heat script, because by providing a example as code or infrastructure as code, I can create multiple infrastructures anywhere across the world without having to deploy or install them manually at each and every single location. If we were to, for example, take what we need to get the same idea in order to get that with VMware. VMware has what used to be called vCake, vCAC, whatever you want to call it now, called vRealize vRealize Suite. You need a number of different components in order to get this, to get the configuration, capacity management, to monitor your performance, to do log aggregation, to do order orchestration, and of course these are products which have been acquired over the years from a number of different companies or written from scratch, depends on what you want to look at. And it's a number of things which you have to put together that are integrated, that can be upgraded at the same time because there's a lot of interoperability issues. And there's no one easy way and no cheap way either, because all of these are paid products as well, that allow you to do the automation of the whole infrastructure within VMware like I was used to. And when I saw Heat, I said, that's the moment that I was looking for. That is something which I can use to do automation of a full infrastructure in a very, very easy way, because everything is tied together, everything is connected together, and usually developed and released at the same time. As we say, OpenStack over here has the usual, everything is software in OpenStack. We have software layer for storage, software layer for networking, software layer for security, software layer for accessing computer resources, and so on and so forth. And because everything is software, that allows us to interact very easily with these software components to provide a conform and easy to use resource for the people which are trying to deploy applications on top of OpenStack. Let me go back one more thing. There, of course, is the fact of the O moment in OpenStack. And since I have a few more minutes to complete, there is the second half of the equation, which is the oh shit moment in OpenStack, because, and forgive the language, but still. The oh shit moment in OpenStack, because once you start actually using this, you understand that the OpenStack community has developed all these things, but not all the way till the end. And I'll give one specific example, is, for example, load balancing as a service. Load balancing as a service is supposed to allow you to deploy applications behind the load balancer and everything automated, integrated with heat. But there are two very, very, in my eyes, elementary problems with the fact with load balancing as a service, and that is, number one, there's no way to provide security on the load balancer because it doesn't exist at the moment. So in other words, anybody can provide a denial of service attack on the load balancer and for everything behind it. And the second thing, which was and still has not been addressed properly unless you use physical hardware appliances behind the load balancing service, is high availability. Everything is spawned as a single process, and if that process dies, there's no way to monitor that process, there's no way to restart that process. And as I was saying, there is, and this is not the only, and this theme continues in a number of places across in OpenStack, that they've started to work on things, on these solutions, but they've not completely thought them through for the enterprise environment. There are a number of different examples which I can go through, but due to the time constraints today, I would like to say thank you very much for joining the talk, and thank you very much to vBrownbag people for hosting me here, and thank you very much for everything today.